How much does sin pay? Well, we learned in the 23rd verse that the wages of sin are death. But what if I work real hard? What if I really dedicate myself to obeying the law? What then? Well, the Apostle Paul says in the 12th verse, do not let sin reign in your mortal body so as to obey its lust. In other words, don't give in to it. Don't go on presenting the members of your body to sin as instruments of unrighteousness. Now you remember, the Apostle Paul has already told us that the purpose of the law was to disclose sin. Now that you know what sin is, don't go on presenting yourself to it. Instead, present yourselves to God as alive from the dead and your members as instruments of righteousness for God. I think back here about not presenting our bodies for sin. I think about our eating habits. How many things do we eat that make us miserable? How many times do we eat late at night and then complain that we can't sleep? There's a simple solution to that. Don't do it anymore. In other words, practice those things that are right. Now, sin is very powerful, and the temptation to sin is very powerful. And we enjoy doing some of those sins. And so that temptation gets a hold of us, and it just draws us in. And it's as if we can't resist it. Well, Paul says, if instead of presenting ourselves as instruments of unrighteousness, we instead present ourselves to God, then sin will no longer be our master. Why? Because we're not under law, but under grace. Obey the law, and face death. Accept grace, accept the fulfillment of the law, and rejoice that sin's not our master anymore. More in part 2.